I think we had a breakup. We then got back together.
He broke up with me. What? What's me? I then started begging him African magic style. I thought, what are you doing? Stand up. This is not Monaco. And then I realized then that I didn't want to lose this guy. And the Frederick I was looking for was from Badagry. They have a Hunponu-Wusu.
Hi everyone, welcome to a very, very special episode of Transparent. With me and Daniel, we are here in a way that we haven't been. Have we done this before? No.
No, we haven't.
No, we haven't done this before. We are talking to mentors this morning, right? You know, we're big on marriages with purpose, marriages that are God-centered and purpose-driven. And who better to speak with this beautiful day than the Wusus, who are celebrating their 20th wedding anniversary. Wow. We have, 20, right? We just celebrated what?
8?
8 years, yeah. So we have Mr. Viavor, Hunponu-Wusu, and Mrs. Mojisola. Can I say Elizabeth? So I love Mrs. Wusu so much. Those who know me know I love Mrs. Wusu so much.
She loves you right back.
Thank you. It is great to have you on our show.
Thank you for having
You are
us.
the first couple we are interviewing ever. All right. And it just feels like you are the right couple to be interviewing. Congratulations on 20 years of not killing yourselves. Of partnership, of being married. In one word.
Silo.
Oh, thank you. In one word, how would you say the past 2 decades have been?
Who wants to go first? Just one word.
After you.
Quick.
Quick.
So fast.
Wow.
So fast.
Okay.
Because I can remember the first day I met him vividly. So it's gone so fast. Yeah.
Wow.
Mr. Wusu?
Eventful.
Eventful. I love it.
Want to
Okay.
go?
No, let's
deep?
what I want to find out is let's go back to the beginning. How did you two meet?
Yeah.
You better hear from me first.
Oh, are there different
My
versions?
version
Okay.
is the authentic version.
Wow. Okay.
So we met in boarding school in the UK. I went to school in Malvern. And I remember that day, the matron came to us, me and another Nigerian girl. And she said, there's a Nigerian boy starting school today. And I think you should come and welcome him. They wanted to just make sure he felt at home. And we're thinking, why us? Anyway, then we said, what's his name? And he said, we have a we're like, what? So we're like, he's not Nigerian. That's not a Nigerian. He's like, yes, sure, it's Nigerian. And the driver's going to pick him up from the airport. So at 4 o'clock or something, she came. He's almost here. And I remember exactly what he was wearing. A denim top.
Wow.
Moccasins.
Wow.
And red tweed. Like trousers.
They weren't tweed.
They were in twig?
They weren't tweed.
Okay.
They were red. Were they red?
Maroon. Yes. And I saw this watercolor guy approaching me, and I just thought, what? And so he came and he said, hello, hello. And the first thing he said is, I need to use the phone box. In those days, we didn't have mobiles. He said, I need to go and tell my friends that I've landed. And we were like, nice to meet you too. Like, really nice to meet you too. And so we took him to the phone box, and I gave him 10p. Use the phone your friends. He said, Omo, I've landed. There are no babes in this school. Get me out of here.
Stop it.
No.
This is hot scoop.
There are no babes in this school. I looked at my 10p. I thought, okay. I said, get me out of here. Omo, there are no. I even know the friend he called. And I just thought, okay, all right. Thank you. So I said to the girl next to me, let's take a So I went to the house and I told every single body, this Nigerian guy that has come. I said, we're all ugly. So please, do the needful. So nobody talked to him.
If you don't get the full money by the end of today, this is the last time you talk to your husband.
He would greet. We even had a song. Should I sing it?
Please.
Yes.
Should I sing it?
I mean, yes.
Are you healed?
That's a good question. That's a legit question.
I need you to heal. We have a roly poly. He was a bit chubby also.
When you have girls singing about you, it must be something. Mr. Wusu.
So we went round and I instigated all the ladies in the house. Do not speak to him. He said, well, okay. And so nobody would speak to him. Let me just fast forward to when I now started changing my mind a bit. After I'd roused the whole school against him. The first time they saw us kissing, they were like, what? I'll stop here.
That is so funny. First of all, I must commend your memory because that was how many years ago?
30.
30 years ago.
So
Yeah.
you were together for
10 years, yeah.
Wow.
I remember it. That's why I said quick.
Do you remember what I was wearing the first time you saw me?
No, I don't. I'm
Do
sorry.
you love me?
I don't. And this was like what? 9, 10 years ago?
This was like
And I
9
don't.
years ago.
I'm 30
30 years
years.
ago,
30
you
years.
remember.
Mhm.
Wow.
That's why I said quick. It's going so
Yeah.
fast. I remember everything.
Okay, Mr. Wusu, what's your version?
I was not expecting to hear that. Even though I've heard this story, I've lived this story for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
I was not expecting to hear it
Well,
and
the
have me
unexpected
put on
happened.
blast, as it were.
From a guy's perspective, man, you scored points. So let me just say it.
No, I think it was exactly like that. Down to a lot of things she didn't mention. The conversations exactly like that.
Wow.
The only thing she didn't mention is what she was wearing. Funny enough, she was with another girl. I can't remember what the other girl was wearing,
Ooh.
but I can remember what she was wearing.
Wow.
So she was the one wearing a tweed, red and black checkered mini dress with a white shirt, black boots, tights.
But you still said I'm not fine.
No, there's a concept. I'm sure Daniel might know this concept. Yes.
Attack is the best form of defense.
But, at the time, I didn't get to boarding school and think the first person I met was the person I was going to end up spending the rest of my life with. I mean, who does that?
Yeah.
And so at that time, there were no fine girls in the school. That fineness became evident a bit later, as it were.
Well, I kind of get that somehow. I kind of get that. You know how people bloom. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I do not get it.
Okay. So I have a question for you, Mr. Wusu. At what point did you realize that she was the person you wanted to spend the rest of your life with? Was there a defining moment? Was it a gradual knowing? Was it a...
I think I was fairly, maybe from year 6, 7, I was fairly certain, but I think it crystallized in our ninth year. I think 8th, 9th year. Yeah, because we were engaged for a year before we got married, and I think I decided to propose that year. So it must have been the 8th, around the 8th.
So was it vision you saw? Was it the Lord's... Did you hear the Lord's voice?
You know what? I think, it was a case of I looked at it and I thought, I think we had a breakup and we then got back together. And I think after the
He broke up
breakup.
with me.
What?
What's we?
We had a breakup.
Okay, we're not going to get into that.
Yeah.
Just there was
And
a
then-
breakup.
Yeah, there was a breakup. And then we got back together. And I think at that point, the reason I got back with her was because I then realized, okay, this is the
There's nothing
person
outside.
that I want to spend the rest of my life with.
Yeah.
And I was very, very intentional
Hmm.
about designing my proposal, proposing, and then being seriously deliberate and intentional about ensuring that that was going to be the beginning of the rest of our lives together.
So when can I ask, when he broke up or when there was a breakup, did you know he was going to come back?
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
So all along, I didn't want to marry him. I wanted to marry a Swiss banker. I've been very open about it.
and he's
I had
lawyer.
I'd curated my life. I had a mindset of the sort of life I would have. And I worked in investment banking. And I was surrounded by the sort of people that fitted into that flashy picture of mine. I wanted to go skiing. I wanted to holiday in Monaco. I wanted a highly intellectual husband that would sire highly intellectual children. So I had a mind, and I thought I knew what I wanted. So I was just waiting for Frederick to come out of somewhere. And so when he came and said we didn't actually break up throughout the relationship. It's not a dramatic relationship. So I think that's the first ever time we had ever broken up. If you discount all the times I broke up for him not calling me darling, right? But if you talk about normal breakups. So we had never broken up. And he certainly had never broken up with me. And then he came this particular day and said he wanted to break up. He felt he had gotten to this relationship at a very young age. I said, I don't understand. The Swiss, they really leave the Swiss girl. So when he said that, I thought, this is going upside down. And then in the most surprising, I surprised myself. I then started begging him African magic style. I thought, what are you doing? Stand up. This is not Monaco. And then I realized then that I didn't want to lose this guy. And the Frederick I was looking for was from Badagry. Hunponu-Wusu. And then at that moment, I knew that he was the intellectual. Everybody that I was looking for was actually from his foundation, from his roots. But I was looking in another direction, but he was right there all along. When you're young, you often think, everything you want is on the other side. And it's right here. He's very intellectual. And that is a buzz for me as a woman. I like smart, brainy, intelligent, measured and composed guys. I want to be able to look at my husband and look up to him. And I certainly do that. Anyway.
Absolutely. Wow. That is
Beautiful.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. So on the show, we've talked about our expectation of marriage before and then the reality of things now. So question for you, and I'll start with you, Mrs. Wusu. Does your reality match the expectation you had of marriage before you got married?
I think ours is a peculiar case because we're together for 10 years. And so we were best friends from childhood. And it's different, it's special because we grew up together. Our values form together. So what a lot of people are resolving in marriage, we've done a lot of that when you're young. One of the examples I was thinking about is I didn't grow up with my dad. So from a very early age, he had to be my father. And so certainly that alignment from when you're young, he was 18, I was 17 when we met. So imagine looking after a girl whose emotions were all over the place from that age. So he took on a fatherly role at 18, looking after me, helping me stabilize my emotions, my fears. And I've written a lot about it on my social media pages and quieting the deep fears I had of abandonment and all those things. So when you look at our reality, a lot of what our reality is now are things that we resolved earlier on. I had to take on a baby girl role. It's easy for me to submit because he's always been a father to me. So all the things that people struggle with, we resolve them at an early age, 18, 19, 20. And even when he left me, abandoned me, dumped me, deserted me, it only lasted for a week.
What?
And yes, and he came back. And he rang me himself and he said, I can't do life without you. At that point, I planned so many things in my head. But of course, we were meant to be. So it is true because in our peculiar situation, we started early. The alignment started early in life. And by the time we were in our late 20s, mid 20s, we got married at 27, 28. We had resolved a lot of the issues that people are, but not everyone gets to meet their future partner at 17 and 18.
Yeah. No, not many.
So beautiful. I know you guys are a God-fearing couple. You know, you guys exemplify a couple who love God and are living, you know, the talk. I've seen you both pray together. I've seen you, you know, lift holy hands, and it's just like these guys are not faking this thing. This is so real to them. I want to ask, at what point did you encounter God in your marriage, or did you encounter God before and you just suddenly got into this marriage as God-fearing couple, or was it in the marriage that you encountered God and made him a part of your union?
So here's the funny thing. Before we got married, we were not believers.
Wow.
Sunday
You're a baby
morning,
boy and baby girl.
oh, yeah. Sunday morning for us was nice long brunches, reading the Sunday Times. That was in the park. That was our Sunday morning routine.
Interesting.
And I think it was after we got engaged and we realized, okay, we were going to get married. We wanted to get married in a church. And we now started exploring churches. And I was reminded about a Korean church that we went to and explore in St. John's Wood. And we were using diagrams to describe the Bible stories and describe an angel coming down. And, you know, obviously that was not the church for us. But we were very intentional about wanting to start our foundation right. Even though we weren't, at that point, I was not a born-again Christian. I think I was still firmly in the world. Firmly. And yeah, firmly. And then I remember we then discovered a church, Guiding Lights Assembly in London, and we went and we felt a peace. We felt a calmness. It was a family church. And we realized, okay, this is the kind of structure that we wanted to grow in. And we started going to that church. We still go to that church.
That's amazing.
Beautiful.
There's one in London. There's one here. It's in Guiding Lights Assembly. It's in Parkview, and our children have been dedicated in that church.
Nice.
So we started intentionally wanting to have a firm foundation, and we have continued and gotten this far because of that firm foundation.
Beautiful.
So what role does faith now play in your marriage? What role will you say faith plays? Because for some people, or for some couples and relationships, faith comes up when there are challenges, right? Faith comes up when we have issues, when we need God. You understand? So I'm curious to know what role faith plays in your own marriage.
So I think
this is a safe space.
of course. No, I think for me, and I'll let her speak, but faith was at the beginning of our marriage. Faith and grace is what has sustained us thus far. You know, I tell people, you know, in a marriage, it's by the grace of God. you get where you are because you're two different people coming together. And even though we had dated for 10 years, being married was a different dynamic. And, you know, I think just having a Father, a Holy Spirit, Jesus Christ that you can call upon, you know. And for me, I came from a foundation where my parents are still together. I understood her background and I was intentional about providing a safe space. So divorce was not an option. And it's by the grace of God, I say this. But so for me, it was always whatever it is, by God's grace, we'll get through it. And I pray for our marriage. I'm intentional about praying to be a good husband. I'm intentional about praying to be a good father. And because I'm intentional about it, I pay attention to it. And I think, so by the grace of God, that's how we've sustained. Yes.
Beautiful.
You're going to say, Majid?
I think, as I said, his parents stayed together. I was brought up by my mom alone. But my mom always said to me that history must not repeat itself. And even in the choice of a partner, she guided me away from perhaps people that she could see at that age, that history will surely repeat itself if my daughter goes this way. So she'll talk to me about the different lenses you need to use when choosing a life partner. And one of it was about his fear of God. And she particularly loved my husband from when I was young. And she particularly guided me to stay the course and to allow God to do his thing. And she really believed that that was what I needed. My husband has 2 wives. He's also been a husband to my mom. So my mom told me and brought me up to understand that God had to be the center, that the man had to fear God and had to have a relationship, a direct relationship with himself, with God. And then when we got married, I saw how intentional he was about pursuing that relationship with God. And we went to a Guiding Assembly in Nigeria, and they asked me to teach a class, Master Life. And who has then been teaching the class for the next 10 years? I only taught one of those classes, but he's taken it on. And he's doing his thing, and he's growing in his faith. That for me is a symbol of somebody who is intentional. When he's praying about our marriage and our family time, I'm thinking, this is another level of prayer. He's so intentional about it. He wants it to work. And, having a safe space where you can work out your own background without having to be somebody else. When sometimes you're married to someone who comes from a different background as you, I see some people performing in that marriage. I see them trying to be what they're not so that they will qualify. He's never made me feel that way. He's given me space to go through my own issues, and I've given him space. The fact that somebody's parents stay together does not mean they don't have their own issues. But you don't have to be anybody else. I love you. God is with us, and he'll take us through this. That has allowed me to work out my own salvation with fear and trembling, because he's provided that space.
You know, when we got married, she was the, I was saved, she was saved, but in the marriage, she was the firebrand, the one that was always and she'd always complain that, I wasn't being prayerful enough. I'm like, I'm praying in my own way,
This guy.
But I think I caught on now. I'm on another level in my spiritual walk and all of that. But I wanted to ask,
Before you ask your question, Daniel almost confused me. Because when I met him, he said, I'm a man of faith. And a man of faith is one of the things he used to toast me.
Yes.
And me, I was like, okay, I've been with all these bad boys. There's a man of faith. Let me see the man of faith. Why is the man of faith not praying violently? that was the confusion that I had. But yeah, we're here now.
Essentially, we had different backgrounds, different
Yeah.
spiritual backgrounds.
We did
You
have
know,
different backgrounds.
I was more, walk by faith. Say a prayer of faith. You speak it once and believe that it will happen.
Yeah.
Toyosi's background is like, you have to pray like 10 times. If you have not prayed
Now
like
let's take it by force.
continuous in prayer, So, but anyways, my question is in your dynamics, what's it like? Who's the firebrand? Who's the chilled one? Who's the one that always drags the other one to prayers? And what's it like? Do you pray together? Just take us through like your spiritual routines and who's what?
A few days ago, we wanted to make a decision about something, and my husband declared a 3-day fast.
Woo!
Last week Monday.
Sabrado.
Yes.
Marabush.
So he declared a 3-day
Man of God.
fast, and he said that he believes God would speak to us. And at that moment, I saw this priest. But I also patted myself on the back and said, it looks like you can stop. This man has carried the fire somewhere else. So certainly I think in most marriages, the woman has the fervor. And even with Jesus, women followed him. So we're working in our natural stratosphere. When women see spiritual danger because God has given us an innate alarm system. And we then blow the alarm. And we are the watchtower. We are the people watching, looking, and making sure that nobody comes near your family. It's our role, it's our job. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm fire.
Pardon.
I have fire. If you come. And even my husband's mother said the other day, anyone that tries to steal Moji will kill her.
Yes.
So she knows that there's somebody that has taken her rightful place in her son's life. She knows I don't joke with him. She knows that no harm will come upon him for as long as God gives me the grace to continue to pray for him. That must be comforting for a mother to know that whether she's around or not, I've got his back spiritually, everything. So I am the firebrand. But when Daddy declared 3 days fast, I said, Gio is that.
I love it.
I love it. Absolutely love it. So we're going to switch gears a bit. Both of you are successful in your own right. Mr. Wusu, you run Blackstone Legal Advisory. You've closed deals, done major stuff. Mrs. Wusu, you are president of Woodhall Finance Limited. Also partnered with international organizations, all of that. We've seen situations where couples get detached, they get separated, the more successful they become with work and with their career. But it doesn't seem like that's the case with you, and we thank God for that. But how do you keep love alive with your busy schedules? I'm surprised you're even here in Lagos, because I can call you tomorrow morning now, you will say, yes, I'm in London. So how do you keep love alive with your busy schedules, with work, with your travel, and with all the partnerships that you both have going?
I think we're very intentional about it. I tell my children all the time that my husband is my best friend. And being a best friend and having a best friend, the responsibilities on your side. It's not about the tag best friend or the tag husband. He's my world, and I make no apologies about it. There's nobody that comes before him, and that is very clear to me. There's nothing. My career doesn't come before him because he was there before my career. I've lost my job before in this same Lagos, but I remember going home one day and saying, thank God I kept my family. And I think every young lady or young man, or old lady or old man should know that. When the world turns its back on you and you go to this mansion, this beautiful home, lovely cars, the life you've curated, and the world turns back, if you go back to an empty home, it can break you down. It won't always break you down, but it can. And I remember saying that I'm glad that the highs of my success did not make me lose this. Very important to me that I didn't go back to that house in Banana Island to an empty home. I think one of the things I was very intentional about was being transparent. My success and the finances I've made did not become an idol to me. I put it all on the table. You have to trust somebody. It has to be one person that you trust. It is not an idol to me. I'm not spending my life thinking of how to protect this external thing from this internal assurance. I don't care much for it. I care about what I have when all of this is gone. So because I've submitted what others have put as a god, I've submitted it at the altar of my marriage. I feel if I had any secret to share with anybody, that has made a difference. I don't care about the millions, the billions, whatever. I do care that I have not done all of this alone. I grew up with a single mother. I know what it is to have a lot and nothing. And so I was told that history must not repeat itself, even with my finances. There's no contract, no client that is above my husband. If you are a real client of mine, you would have entered this house. You would have met my husband. You would have interacted with him. And I would have shown you that at no point is the transaction in front of us greater than him. I hear people come to marriage and say, oh, you know, I'm getting married to you, but there's one person that there's nobody. There's nobody that is a deal breaker. Nobody comes for him. He is my world. And because I'm sure about that, I have grace. He gives me grace. I give him grace. And I know that a lot of people say, yes, I'm in this peculiar situation. My own husband is not this. But maybe drop one of those idols and see if it may not. If the walls of divorce, separation, arrogance, and ego in marriage won't come down. If one person is willing to drop that one idol, I think that's what's worked for me.
That's so profound.
That's like a seller moment. I want to hear his opinion as well.
Right. Okay. Let's hear from Mr. Wusu first, then I'll take it a bit deeper.
So I think really it comes back to intentionality. You know, for men, respect is key. And if you're honored in your own home, you have a solid foundation to go out and conquer the world. Her success is my success because, again, I'm intentional about, and I have been intentional about building that success and supporting that success over the last 30 years. So I tell people I have 4 children. This is my first. And from that perspective, I say it is to God's glory when I see the manifestation of all my supports come out for the world to see. And
Yes.
Okay.
I think ultimately, and I said this to somebody, our businesses are our businesses. She's married to a lawyer. She knows more law than most people. She's married to someone who develops real estate. She knows quite a lot. And I'm married to somebody who's an investment banker. I am in finance. There's no, the good thing is, fine, we have areas of strength, but we are also quite able to support each other in our various endeavors. And that, I think, mutual respect has been the secret to just maintaining a happy home, ensuring that money and the outside world does not come first. Because before there was money, we were together. While there is, we're together. And by God's grace,
there always will be.
We will be there till God calls us.
So
wow, thank you.
I want to take it a bit deeper. So I mean, oftentimes we meet couples and outside, you know, we're like, oh, they're so beautiful together. They seem so perfect together. Oh, look at them. Or, you know, and that's the thing. That's what we love to project, you know, about ourselves, our strengths. You know, never our weaknesses, our strengths, you know. And then people see that and they celebrate it. But in Transparent, we try to go a bit deeper so people can learn.
Try to be transparent.
We try to be transparent. So let's talk about when things are not so rosy and dandy and agreeable. You know, how do you deal with, you know, difficult moments? How do you, I mean, you have a wife who is out there, who's closing mega deals, who's traveling around the world. I want you, sir, to be a bit, you know, so a bit transparent with me and tell me, in those difficult moments, how do you cope? How do you handle it? Is she perfect? You know, when she's not so perfect, how do you deal? How do you?
Mrs. Wusu, like, I'm perfect, please.
because I'm saying this because I know, you know, I know how sometimes Toyosi can come off as being a bit too strong, a bit being, you know, disagreeable sometimes, and you know, I'd like to learn.
She's perfect.
Yeah, she can come across as being perfect. I'd like to learn from you, sir. how you deal with some of those moments.
I think, again, I've had a lot of practice.
Wow.
We've been together for a long time. And in that time, there's been highs and highs. There have been lows and lowers.
Wow.
However, one of the things I've realized is, again, I'm a believer. It might sound cliched, but ultimately, the person I cry to is God.
Absolutely.
I don't cry to anybody other than God. And yes, you will have challenging times. There will be times when one person is up and the other person is down. And that is where having a true partnership comes in. Everybody can't be 100 all the time. There will be times when somebody's 80, somebody's 20. There will be times when somebody is 90 and somebody is 10. How you deal with that from a male perspective is by giving grace. You have to be able to give grace, give compassion, and also understanding that one person's success is our family's success. And if your flesh is telling you different things, it's not happening for you.
Yeah.
You know, understand that, you know, life is a journey.
Yeah.
Just because it didn't happen, it's not happening at this point in time, does not mean it hasn't happened in the past and it will not happen in the future.
So good.
There have been times when she's been down and I've been up, and literally she's been down as in the depths. And well, we're still together. And literally, I think it's that sense of knowing that, look, this is a journey. You will have highs, you will have lows. The most important thing is to maintain that consistency and trust in God. And have the confidence. I know a lot of us can be a bit can suffer from a lot of lack of self-esteem. Your partner's success does not mean you are not successful. You know, it just means they're successful in their own right. 10 plus 10 will always be 20. But if one person is at 10 and the other person is at 5, and that's 15. The cumulative number, the sum is greater than the individual parts. And it's understanding that, look, you know, this is a journey. You can't get it right all the time. Give grace to your partner. Ask for grace from God. And then, you know, we'll keep it moving.
Beautiful.
I have something to say.
Of course you do.
I'm not as cool, calm, and collected as he is all the time. I said, I have something to say. I'm not as cool and calm and collected. I'm just making myself laugh listening to him. A few days ago, one of our children did something wrong. And I'm not going to say it because they're going to watch this and say, no, you put us on blast. Let me just say one of them. And my husband was so cool, he was dealing with it. And I came and said, he's copying you. This is a trait from you. Where else could you have got it from? Because I was panicking about what he had done. I was so upset. I then carried all my own fears and dumped it on him. It's just the way he looked at me like, how did we get here? They're in London, I'm here. This issue has come up. And how am I the one
who caused
who's caused it?
Blame,
But that's how he dealt with it. He just looked at me and said, Moji, calm down. We'll sort it out. I remembered something he did when he was 20 that was similar. Something he did when he was 30 that was similar. I said, if you contaminate my children's bloodline. And he just looked at me, honestly, like, you know what, let me just put this man in one box. Let me just deal with this issue.
Yeah.
Which ended up being nothing. But I went to bed that night and I laughed at myself. How did we get to you are the cause you contaminated my children? And I say that to bring out the fact that there's always somebody who's more dramatic, who is more emotional, and the maturity of the other person to contextualize that situation and put it where it's meant to be, in the waste paper basket. Right? At that time, don't react, don't be triggered, and you need a sort of maturity to go through that. So I've seen couples that would turn, what are you saying about my bloodline? You know, and all of those things, and that could turn into something else. He just firmly took it and he just put it in the waste paper basket and focused on his children and the matter at hand. And you need a sort of maturity when someone is losing it, getting emotional, getting fearful, that one person rises and says, you know what, calm down. This is not a big deal. We'll resolve this. And I went to bed that night. I felt small.
Wow.
Because but he didn't make me feel bad. He understood that this is a mother hen screaming about her children. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting that all the responsibility is being put on the men.
Yeah.
But I'll embrace that. I was listening to something on social media the other day, and this guy was giving an analogy of a family and said that men are like the beach wall, right? And women are like the ocean. And the ocean is pulled here and there by the moon and the waves and gravity and the wind and keeps slamming at that beach wall. And what the wall must do is to remain there and safeguard the beach and stand firm and be strong and be all of those things. And I'm just like, it's so incredible that, women can be all of this. Some be tossed to and fro. And then just the men have to just be solid for them. And that's how I made meaning of everything I was going through in that moment. I'm just like, this is so interesting. That we have to be just constant and supportive and irrespective of what is being thrown at you.
It's funny, you will just watch something on social media and accept it as the gospel.
No, I'm not accepting it as the gospel. I just thought it was very interesing. And it made sense to me. It made so much sense to me.
I agree.
That we're ocean, you are wall.
Moving on.
But I think it's a true analogy. We have, I was speaking to my makeup artist the other day. She said, I said, here, all the vitamins you need to take as a woman when you turn 40. So that my head, my stomach, my knees and toes. I said, here. Yeah. So we are differently wired, our hormones. And if you feel safe in a relationship, that relationship will allow you, within boundaries of course, allow you to let it out. Right? What you don't want is a woman who doesn't say anything, who's seething, who's resentful, who's bitter, and acting like a beach wall. There's so much, or confiding in somebody else. This fight that she wants to fight, let her fight it. Otherwise, she would go and look for that rush somewhere else.
So good.
So I think a man being matured enough to understand the cycles, product life cycle of a woman, and know that sometimes she needs to let some things out. Get it? If you provide her that safe space, she would go to bed like I felt that day, thinking, my wahala is spent.
Guys, this has been one heck of an episode with Mr. and Mrs. Wusu, celebrating 20 years of an amazing, fruitful, God-ordained union. And it has been our pleasure talking to them and just learning from them. Officially or unofficially, whatever you guys want to call it, they are our mentors, and we have been so blessed by their lives, by watching them, observing their lives, but also by listening to them and hearing, what they have to say about all the questions that we have thrown at them. I hope you have learned something. It's instructive that you listen to it with all of your ears open and also pass this across to someone who you believe will need this. It has been fun. It has been
I think
a
it's
blessing
him that wants to
be
kiss
here.
you now.
Yeah.
I think it's him that wants to kiss you.
So thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Wusu, for
Okay,
being
kiss
here
that I
and
will
for,
kiss.
for blessing us.
Kiss.
We'll kiss if you kiss.
Okay, I want his ultimate.
Oh,
I love it. Okay, can we?
Gen Z wife.
we'll see you next time.
You're really not going to kiss me?
That is, we've closed the show.
Okay, while we're rolling credits, let's just
Oh, I'm pregnant.
Thank you
Bye,
so much,
everyone.
guys. Bye.
Thank you.